Hey guys, so this week I'm going to be talking about casual racism. It's something I feel really strongly about, and I think that it needs to be addressed more, the way people sort of go about it. It's not very funny this week, but it's pretty serious subject that we need to. So I've experienced a lot of casual racism in my life, but I think as I get older and you sort of encounter a lot of different people with different views, as with anyone, as you get older and you meet new people, you get to come across a lot of views that are quite strong, and then at the same time you can't really blame people because it's what they've been brought up with and what they know and what they think is right. I don't mean casual racism as in when people come up to me and they're like, "Where are you from?" No, you're not from London. Where are you really from? That to me is fine. I don't mind when people ask questions like that because I'd rather they were inquisitive, would like to know more, rather than just be completely ignorant and make assumptions. Oh, if you're Nigerian, do you do juju and shit? Those kind of preconceptions I don't agree with. But what I'd like to address is how people tend to refer to other ethnic minorities. For instance, people think what annoys me, one of the little things, well, quite a big thing that really annoys me, is the fact that people think it's okay to sort of say, oh yeah, refer to people like, oh yeah, that he's a Paki, blah blah blah. It's alright, I have a friend who's a Paki too, he doesn't mind me calling him that. I'm just joking, I'm not racist. What I've seen to notice is the fact that by saying, oh, I'm not racist, I'm joking, it sort of makes it alright to joke about, which it really isn't at all. What one person doesn't find offensive, another person will find offensive, especially when you're referring to a whole race, completely. That just makes it even worse. And stereotypes, even more, just makes it more, annoying. For example, one time I was on holiday in Spain at Benixen Festival, and this girl was like, "Oh, you're from London? Are you from what? You don't look like you're from the parts of all the proper black people, Brixton and stuff. Don't worry, you don't look like one of them. It's okay." And it's what do you even say to people like that? Those kind of stereotypes really, really get on my nerves, and it's sort of I'm not trying to not be black. I like being black. I'm proud of my heritage. I enjoy my heritage and learning more about it. It's not something I'm ashamed about and want to change. And when people put it like that, it's sort of what books have you been reading? Who tells you your information? That shit's not on Wikipedia. Anyway, but the one that sort of really got to me the most was last week when my friend had people over at our house, and this guy, we've had this heated argument about this subject before, last year. He thinks it's acceptable, wait for it, he thinks it's acceptable to refer to black people as Negros. According to his argument, it's okay because that's what the Spanish people call black people, as a Spanish term for black people, Negros. But then I think he's forgetting the fact that the same Spanish people who refer to black people as Negros were the same who shipped them off as slaves. And if you put two and two together, that term is derogatory. It's offensive. It's more offensive. It's offensive because it's derogatory, and that's why people don't use it, and that's why it's not acceptable. If you know someone who thinks that's okay, please slap them across the face for me. Anyway, last week he was around our house. We were watching TV, and then he started saying, "Oh look, there's a Negro on the BBC. There's a Negro on the BBC. There's a Negro on TV." And I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" And he wouldn't listen, and he carried on. I thought, is he really doing this to get a rise out of me? Why is he doing this? If he was sat in a room full of four black big guys, or if I was in the room with my parents and he was there, he would not dare say that. He wouldn't at all. And I thought maybe he's just doing it because he thinks, oh, I'm a girl. He's some tall dickhead who thinks he can get away with anything. By the way, this guy's a massive prick anyway. So I just got so angry. I was like, get out of my house. You have the fact that you could sit in my house and say that in my front room watching my TV, you are sick in the head, get out. And yeah, he like, and his sort of retaliation to that was like, "Oh, can't you take a joke? Don't you watch South Park? Isn't funny?" And it just goes back to the whole idea of how people think, "Oh, I'm not a racist because I have black friends. I'm not racist because I'm just making a joke." And I think that doesn't make it all right at all. And like, if basically, if you take anything from this video, is like, if you are around people who do that, or if you do that and you think it's okay, it's not, and you should tell people like who do that not to. It's ignorant. Like, learn your facts. Like, Wikipedia. Why do I keep referencing to Wikipedia? Like, look on the internet. Like, educate yourself. It's offensive and it's not right, and it is like, it's upsetting and it's not very nice. So that's all I've got to say today. Like, yeah, that's all I've got to say. If you like feel strongly about this, let me know. I'm really interested to know what people think. And it's not even the fact that, like, when you're in, like, fair enough, if you're in a heated argument, I don't care. If I was, like, in an argument, if someone kept saying, like, someone say nasty stuff to me, I don't care. I give as good as I get. But when you sort of bring race into the equation, it just makes it, you just, not only are you the biggest low of all lows, it's the fact that it's just, why? Why? What? Because you're trying to hurt me? I don't care. I don't care. Like, bring race into the equation. That just shows how much of an ignorant dickhead you are. So that's all I've got to say today. Like, take away, think about it, and reevaluate. Or reevaluate. Just think about how. I guess just think about it.